This is exciting.
I know, right?
Uh, how are you?
I'm good. Thank goodness it's Thursday. How about you?
Yeah, it's funny because this morning I woke up and I felt like it was Tuesday.
Ooh,
I was like, it's already Thursday? Usually it's the other way around where you're like, oh, it's Thursday. And you're like, it's Monday?
I think it's because of the elections and everything. Everybody has that like paralysis, like,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay,
Hmm.
we're just waiting. I'm wondering if we should do it on yours instead
Why?
because, I ain't got more subscribers. I got nobody. That's not true. I have 51 beautiful people.
Right. I'm like, you got people.
Oh my
It's
God.
YouTube Shorts. That's the thing that's how I've gotten there.
Yeah. It's so much easier to post those than like full videos that require all that editing and stuff.
I know, but Shalene Johnson just maybe we can hold this as a video. We can post this. Shalene Johnson just posted about lazy editing today. Like that was her video, and she was like, for people that are 40 and over, like there's no more, doing the thumbnail and doing the edits. Like it's just raw and live. And people are responding to that because it's like when you do all the edits and you cut out the ums and ahs and stuff like that, is that really you? Like if you were
I
having
don't cut that out.
right, me either. I'm like, you gonna take it the way I give it to you. So
That's too much editing.
right. So she was like, "Yeah, people like that. They like the real raw."
Hmm. Okay, well we have nobody on. So, um
Okay.
you wanna just go anyway or
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
because it'll
Um
save.
okay. Well, do you want to start?
Oh, then you can do the grounding exercise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
get
I
us in
didn't
there.
know if you wanted to welcome everybody.
Oh, hey, y'all, hey. So, no, welcome, you guys. My name is Monique,
I'm Alexis.
and we've decided to come to you guys just to talk about 2025, being intentional, and really focusing in to help people with their visions.
Yeah, so this is the first part in a series, um, igniting your potential. And this one is about, a journey to your brighter future. What does that mean? How do you set yourself up for success? Your future self. How do you set your future self up for success? And we're going to share some tools and some tips that we use when we're goal setting. And hopefully, you all find it helpful.
Yes, I love that. So we
Um,
thought that, oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Mon.
Oh, so we thought that we would kind of start the meeting workshop off right, and that is with Alexis doing a mindfulness meditation.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take my glasses off so that I could really. But the reason that I thought like a grounding meditation or just a body awareness meditation might be helpful is because there's a lot going on right now in the U.S. And as we sit here and we start thinking about our goals and what we want out of our lives for the coming months, I thought it would be helpful for us to just really dial in and connect with ourselves without thinking about what's going on outside for this moment that we've set aside for this conversation. Um, and so, with that, find a comfortable seat. So, wherever you're sitting, or even if you're walking, make sure you're comfortable. Standing, whatever you're doing right now, make sure you're comfortable. If you're sitting, bring your shoulders over your hips. And if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you prefer to just soften your gaze, just bringing your gaze down towards your nose, that's another option. You don't have to close your eyes. But start by just noticing how you're breathing in this moment, noticing whether your breath is deep or shallow, whether it's smooth or textured, and notice how it feels in your body. Maybe you place your hands on your belly, and then as you breathe in and out, Notice the rise and fall of your belly. And we're just observing these things without judgment, just being in this present moment. And again, your eyes can be closed or open. I'm going to close my eyes for a moment. And we'll do a little body scan. So, starting with your feet, maybe wiggle your toes here for a moment if you're able. Just notice how your toes feel. Maybe you ball up your toes like a fist and then release them and notice how your feet are feeling. And if you're sitting, can you place the soles of your feet flat on the ground? And then moving up towards your ankles, allow your ankles to feel light. Allow your ankles to feel heavy. Moving up to your shins, your calves, noticing whether there's any tightness or whether your calves feel open. And your knees, how do your knees feel this evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this? And moving up your legs towards your thighs, the back of your legs, your hips. And if you're sitting, again, allow your hips to become light. And then allow your hips to become heavy, grounded into whatever you're sitting on. Moving up your spine, notice the muscles along your spine, those muscles that are supporting you as you sit upright or you're standing. And then bring your awareness to your hands on your belly if they're still there. And maybe you move your hands up towards your chest, over your heart, and notice the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. Notice your heartbeat and the pace of your heartbeat, how it feels underneath your hands. Maybe you offer yourself a kind word in this moment, or even set an intention for maybe something you hope to receive or how you hope to feel as we move through this workshop. Then you can release your hands down to your lap. Maybe you put your hands palms down on your lap to feel grounded here, supported. And we'll take 3 deep breaths together. So as you inhale, take a deep breath in through your nose and sit a little taller as you inhale. And as you exhale, sigh it out to release the breath and relax your shoulders as you exhale. Inhale, sitting a little taller, feeling a little lighter in your seat. Exhale, releasing the shoulders, releasing into your seat heavy. One more time, deep breath in. And this time, as you exhale, sigh it out, let it go. You can open your eyes, you can return to looking at your screen if you're there. Um, and then that's our grounding meditation. How do you feel, Monique?
I love it. Oh my God. I feel so relaxed right now.
Good.
Super relaxed. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel ready to talk about goals and good stuff.
Yes. Yes. I am ready. So the reason why we decided to do this is because I know for both of us, vision boards have been something that have been life changing, right? And I definitely can tell you from my point of view and perspective that before vision boards, I really felt like I had all these ideas, but they really weren't coming together. And vision boarding and manifesting is the way that I've been able to build my dream house, right? Go on vacation, start my business. And I do that various different ways, which as we continue on the workshops, we're going to get into those. But I really love vision boards and I love manifesting and, prompting, just because it really helps me to stay focused and organized on really what I want. How about you, Alexis?
Yeah, so I like vision boarding, and I used to think like, "Oh, vision boarding is so silly, like, what's the point?" And then during the pandemic, I wanna say the first year, 2020, a group of friends, we did a vision board, and it was a feng shui vision board is how it was described. And so I brought my magazines and my scissors and my glue and my big poster board, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna start cutting things out." And I cut out things that spoke to me, and I was like, "Okay, fine. Well, like, I'll play along. We'll see if this works." So I actually have that first one here. It's
Ooh.
jumbo. It's jumbo, but this is my first one.
Oh, I love
And
it.
and it's crazy because like the big stuff on here, it all happened. And
Hmm.
what helped me was putting it like on the wall next to my desk, and I saw it every day and I saw my goals every day. So that one lasted me. I used that one for about 2 years before I decided, okay, I've checked everything off here. I'm ready to go into a new one. And I did another vision board. And I think it was something about that reminder, that constant reminder that made it meaningful. And so now I try to do it every year or every other year, depending on how complicated my vision board is. Um, and I love it. I think it's a really great exercise, and it's also meditative in a way when you're
Hmm.
cutting out things and you're thinking about these things, and you know there's something about that sort of tangible
Yeah, that's so
action.
true. So
Yeah.
true. And you brought up a good point. Like, I think some people have the idea where, oh, you got to do it every single year. Not really, you know, not really.
Yeah, and you don't even have to do it on like one topic. Like if I wanted to do a board on my fitness goals, I could do that. If I wanted to do one about places I'd like to travel or anything like that. It doesn't have to be really broad. It can be really narrow. It can be about a time frame or whatever. Um, but I think this leads to what we wanted to talk about next, which is these SMART goals and what are SMART goals and how do you know what to set this goal for as you get into vision boarding. So what is your experience, Monique? How do you set your goals?
So I definitely I use SMART goals to an extent, but I use a worksheet and I really try to envision what I'm seeing myself either in the year prior or the year after that. And then the things that I am imagining myself doing, that's how I basically, start my vision board out because these are the things when I'm doing just a vision exercise, it's like, what do I really want? And usually when I'm quiet, 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, I saw myself, writing a book, or I saw myself, teaching kettlebells. These are the things that then I'm gonna say I'm gonna put on my vision board. So that's the way that I do it. How about you?
Yeah, so depending on my vision board, I'll set goals. And just so for people who are listening, watching, SMART goals, the SMART is an acronym, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to you, and time bound. These are the things that you can use as you set goals. These are things, little reminders, and almost like a checklist. You know, if I say I'm going to lose 100 pounds by the end of this year, okay, it's specific, it is measurable. Is it achievable? Like, okay, is it healthy to lose 100 pounds in 12 months? Yeah, mm, consult with your doctor. But for most folks, they say losing more than 2 pounds a week, consistently. That's like the limit. But anyway, so yeah, okay, is it achievable? Maybe, maybe not. Is it relevant? Why do I want to lose 100 pounds? Do I want to lose
Mhm.
100 pounds because I want to hit a specific number because that's what my friends are? Do I want to lose 100 pounds because I want to be able to have kids? Or do I want to lose 100 pounds because I saw somebody else lost 100 pounds? And then what's my time frame? Like, if I want to lose 100 pounds this year, is that achievable for most people? Realistically, no. Okay, but if I
Mm,
said I want to lose 100 pounds in 5 years, that's reasonable, and that's got that time frame. It's got that time goal, and there's an end point to it instead of this ongoing. I want to lose 100 pounds
yeah,
by when?
whenever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They always say, like, if you don't put a time bound on it, well, it's just a dream,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, no, that's so true. I think that the relevant part is really important for me too. The measurable and achievable are super important. Achievable probably the most important. Like, am I being realistic? I want to write a best-selling novel next month. Okay, did you write anything? No. So like, you're probably not going to write a bestseller in a month. Um, yeah, that's not achievable. But relevant, like, why do I want to do it? And I think that's
Mhm,
really the thing. If
mhm.
you're doing it for other people, and not like your family or your kids or whatever. I mean, yes, but like, are you doing it because this is what society's telling you need to do, or are you doing it for a reason that's really personal to
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Um, yeah. And so I guess when I'm looking at goals, I think of like, what do I want? What do I want right now? What do I want this year? What do I want out of my fitness? My Monique gave me this idea. She was like, you could put together a vision board on your phone and then make it your screensaver. And so that's what I have now. And that's mostly my fitness goals, my health and fitness goals. And so it's like those goals are all things that I want to accomplish within the next year with my health and fitness. So I know that was a very long answer, but
Yeah.
I thought I would share what SMART goals are, and yeah, and so that's how I pick what I want. It's like, first, what's the time frame, and what are the categories that I'm looking at?
And no, I love that. And so, like, I'm a Christian, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and let's just knock it out take the band-aid off, right? I know a lot of people who are religious, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing all that woo-woo stuff. I hear that all the time. Monique, you're doing the woo-woo stuff. I thought you go to church and do. In the Bible, it literally says, like, you should make the vision plain, right? And that's all that we're doing with vision boards, right? Is we are just making the vision plain. One thing that Alexis said was that she kept it before her eyes. And I know for a lot of people, they go to the party, right? They cut out the stuff, they having fun, they with their girls. And then as soon as they get home, the vision board either lives in their trunk of their car because they forgot it, right? Or it lives in the closet. And if you really want to start to see real results, you really got to put it before your eyes so that you are constantly reminded of the things that you want. I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you talk about the woo-woo stuff, I get this too, especially, I'm a yoga teacher and people have a lot of views about yoga, particularly people who don't practice it or don't practice it regularly, like, okay, sure, whatever. But I don't know. I think in life you get out of it what you put into it.
Mhm.
And when we were talking about doing this series, I shared with Monique this story that I had heard recently, like this parable that was this guy that kept asking, like, please God, I want to win the lottery. I need to be rich. I need to win the lottery. And he just kept begging. And then at the end, God was like, okay, I can help you here, but you need to buy the lottery ticket. Like, you can't just win the
Mm,
lottery, and buying the lottery ticket, I think is a missing piece for a lot of people. It's like, I want to be rich. Okay, why? And how are you going to get there? It's not, the money's not going to just fall from the sky. You have to have a vision. And a vision board is really just like, it's just a part of that.
mhm,
It's a piece. It's a tool. You don't have to do it that way, but you have to have some sort of vision. And these SMART goals are so important because, okay, yes, I want to be a millionaire. Why? Because you heard that being a millionaire is like what you should be. Do you want to do something with this money? Are you a philanthropist? What do you want to do? Why do you want to have that? What is your time frame? And I think a lot of people, they don't want to buy the lottery ticket. They just want it to fall into their lap. And I think that's not how the world works.
Yeah,
You don't.
no, so true. Vision boards, I hear this all the time, like, Monique, I had it before my eyes and I looked at it every single day. And then I'm like, well, what else did you do? Well, that was it, because you told me to cut out the pictures and put it in my room. And I did that. But then the question that I always ask people, what action did you put behind it? Right. So on my vision board for 6 years, 6 years, right? I had a picture of me and my daughter standing in front of a townhouse. Now, I live with my parents. I was in debt up to my eyeballs. And 6 years, I looked at this picture. I looked at her, I looked at me, and I was like, how am I going to do it? But I knew deep down inside that me owning a home was something that I wanted to do, something that I needed to do. 5 of those 6 years, I did nothing but look at it, if I can be honest, and it wasn't until that 6th year that I was like, "Okay, so in order for me to buy a house, maybe you need to look at your credit. Maybe you need to ask some questions. Maybe you need to." And those are the things, honestly, that will get you to where you are, to where you wanna be, right? So I could stare at it all day, every day. I mean, listen, if money's falling from the sky, let me know, because I will get my upside down umbrella ready, right? I'll get it ready. But like Alexa said, like reality says, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to put some action or skin in the game. I think that's what they say.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the I want I this is my dream job. I want this job. Did you apply for it? Did you create the job for yourself? Like, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people want, not everybody, but there are a lot of people just want things handed to them. They don't want to do the work, and if you're, and I think a lot of times that's tied to why they want those things.
Mhm.
There's no, it's not that it's a passion, or it's a health goal, because they want to get to this next thing, like I want to get rid of this medication that I'm taking or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because their friends are doing it, or they saw something on TV or whatever. They think this is what they're supposed to be doing at this point in their life, and then they don't take the actions because they're not passionate about it. And I think if it's really relevant to you and it's really something you want to do, I think you're more likely to want to set those goals and take those actions.
So true. So true. So I didn't do a vision board last year, which was very unlike me. But the year prior, I did one. Of course, I knew that I was moving into my house, right? So I ripped that page off of my vision board. I was like, cool, I still have it, but I ripped it off. And then I had to like slightly change my vision, right? Because I knew that I was moving into the house. And I'm saying this part because where a vision board also can help a lot of people is with clarity, right? Like, you know what you want to do, you know you're going to put the action behind it, but how is it really going to come to fruition? So, not last year, but the year before, on my vision board, I had like what kind of kitchen I wanted, right? What kind of down to like the lights, what kind of table that I wanted, what type of sofa. And if you look in my house right now, everything that I had on my vision board is what I have in my house, right? And it's because I kept that vision very clear. I was like, I want gray sofa. I want this wood table. I want the lights in my house to look like this, marble countertop. Like, I was real specific when I wanted those things. Now, did I have to put some things into action and look for the things that I wanted? Yes. But it helped me because I was very clear. Like, we've all been to IKEA and been, IKEA will get you on a good day, right? Right? And I was in there 900 times and I was like, "Oh, maybe this, maybe this." But no, I kept in my mind like, this is what I want because this is what's on my vision board. So helping with clarity is one thing I think where people sleep on too.
I think that, I always make this joke because back before I worked at a mall, I was a shopper. Like I would walk around, they say, "Do you need help?" I'm just browsing. I never really was looking for anything. I worked at the mall for 8 years, and I was like, I can't do this shopping thing. Like I'm a buyer now. And it's like going into Target and knowing that you have specific things that you need to get and that you need to do. And are you sticking to that list? Are you walking in? You know that you need,
Mm,
uh, I don't know, sunscreen. And you know you want this specific kind of sunscreen. If you go there and they don't have the sunscreen, do you stay in the store or do you get out? Do you find a different sunscreen or do you go and you go into the clothes section because you saw a sale? You know,
mm,
and it's like about being a buyer, but for yourself and your well-being and your success versus being a shopper who's just like looking at different ideas and I'm just browsing. I don't really know what I want. I
yeah.
think I think that it's easy to fall into that trap, but it's important to remind yourself that you're a buyer and you're buying into your own success.
I love that. No, it's so true. That is so true.
Yeah. So, I guess during this series, we want to just share some tips and some exercises. There's a lot of, I don't know if you can hear the sirens. There's a lot going on over here on this busy street I live off of. But but yeah, I mean, there's I don't know. We want to share some different tools that we're using and some tips. I'm going to mute myself for a second, Monique. But if you want to talk
Okay.
about some of the things we've talked about.
Yep. So, vision boards, like Alexis has said, it's subject to how you want to do it. I also have my vision board as my screensaver. I actually completed one, right? You don't have to do it in the year that it's for. You can do it the year prior. Really, you can do it whenever you like, right? And there's different forms that it can manifest as. So you can have the screensaver. I have a big poster. I went to my local Staples and I have it blown up so it's larger than life, right? And it's gonna live in my bedroom across from my bed so I can see it. You can also do a form of vision boards that is called scripting, which some people do, they like it, but it's where you're basically writing how you think that something should be. So it would be something like, today was amazing. I love my husband. He was great. He's great. Our house is beautiful. We have this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and he adores me with flowers all the time, and my job is great. And you're basically scripting the life that you want, right? And when you constantly write that over and over and over again, it gets down into your subconscious. And so you remember those things. Of course, there's some other things that go into it. But scripting is also like another form that is so helpful. And it really does work because not only are you able to get the ideas out of your head and onto paper, and they say pen to paper is sometimes magical when you do it, but it can also help you with your vision board if you haven't done one already.
I think I love this scripting idea, and I think if you're going to get into it, that you have to really mean it. There are
Mhm.
sometimes people feel like, oh, this is silly, or I feel like I'm being selfish. And it's not selfish to want good things for yourself, and your family and your loved ones and your friends. It's not selfish. It's completely reasonable. So when you're doing this, make sure you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter what anybody says, like I do hear that all the time. People are like, "Oh, well, I can't have that." Well, why not? Why can't you? Anything is possible if you believe it. There's a quote from I think Kenneth Copeland where he says, "If you believe it, it'll happen. If you don't, it won't." And I was like, "Oh, but how true is that? Like if you don't believe it, it's never going to happen." Right?
We had this sign in our, it wasn't a sign, it was like a phrase or a mantra that was sort of painted around the gym at my school, and it said expect, believe, achieve. And I think about that all the time, that this was in our gym, and I would look at it in my volleyball practice in high school, and at our pep rallies and that sort of thing. And it's a good reminder. Yeah, I don't know, I just think that, especially as women, a lot of
Mhm.
times we think that we can't have these things, or we put other people first and we care, and it's good to care about other people. There's nothing wrong with that either, but it's really important that you care about yourself.
Yeah, so true. And especially like I'm 45, right? So when you get over 40, I know for a lot of people, I'm hearing one or two things. I'm hearing I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing in life. I've raised my kids. My husband, he's still there. Like, they're just like on that hamster wheel of life. And then the other group of people feel like, well, it's too late for me. I'm already done living my life. And now I'm on the maintain. And it's like, well, no, that's not the case, right? Even though you're a certain age, whether it's 40, 50, 60. Listen, I'm not being paid to endorse her, but Martha Stewart's my homegirl, okay? And if you watch her documentary on, I think it's Netflix, she really reinvented herself at every age, at every stage of her life. And she never took no for an answer, right? So I'm thinking like, well, this 81-year-old lady, if she can have the best comeback story, like, yo, she was in jail. Okay. White lady jail, but she was in jail. She was in jail. And I don't know if I'd be able to like, make it past that, but she did. And not only did she come out, but she came out kicking, screaming, and really a force to be reckoned with. So it doesn't matter what anybody else says, it's what you believe.
Well, and one of the things I remember when Martha was coming out of incarceration, they were talking about how she got in there, and you would think, okay, it's Martha Stewart. She's like this well-off lady who's known for like decorating and cooking stuff. And what she did was she used the skills that she had. She taught crafting to the other inmates, and she did the best with what she had. And I think like just staying optimistic and knowing that no state you're in necessarily has to be permanent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that I think that's one of the reasons that she found success. Like you said, reinventing yourself, evolving, pivoting, innovating, and it doesn't have to be something so dramatic. You could be innovating in something smaller scale.
Yeah.
Um, so I was thinking, Monique, for our next series next week,
Mhm.
that maybe we can give a little homework assignment
Ooh, I love it.
um, to folks. So we talked about the SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. I think if you want to listen next week, or maybe you're listening to these all in a row, that for one, come up with 1 to 3 specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound goals that you have. And maybe you come up with this list and you put, what each of these things are. Let's say your goal is, I'm just going to come up with one. It is to save $1,000 by the end of the year.
Mhm.
Very specific. It's measurable. At what point do I want to reach $500? At what point? How much am I putting in? Whatever. Why do I want it to be that number? And when does it end? And then start thinking of things that you might put on your vision board that connect with these ideas. Are you working a second job? Are you selling a product? Are you going to be in I don't know, Christmas markets or whatever. Start coming up with these ideas so that when you do start the vision boarding portion, whether it's in scripting, whether it's finding images on your phone or cutting things out, that you have a roadmap for
Mm.
your board. And yeah, I think that's a good homework assignment for the people.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And we'll do one better. So if you come back next week or if you're here, I have a worksheet that I always give to the people that come to my vision board and manifesting class that will really help you to get clear. So we'll also give you that freebie when you attend next week's class.
Nice. I don't have a freebie to give this week, but I will offer this. I have been putting together this playlist for myself called high vibration music. And
Mhm.
it's like positive, uplifting music. It's secular, I guess. It's just like motivational and so I'll add it in the description. Oh, there's
Perfect.
Desiree, the roadmap I did. Hey Desiree.
Hey.
Um, So I'll add that in the I'll reply with a comment with the Spotify playlist. So sometimes when I'm thinking about brainstorming goals or really thinking about what I want for myself, I'll listen to motivational music, or I might light a candle or burn some incense, something that just sort of has me connect with a sense, a different
Mhm.
sense. And even if I just sit there for a minute and do it. So, like, okay, maybe I listen to some music and then when I'm done, I write, or I write while I'm listening, or
Yeah,
I watch the candle for a little bit and then I'm brainstorming. So, um, that's a suggestion I would give, especially if you're feeling like you don't know where to start. Sometimes it's nice to just connect with a sense of yours and allow that to guide you.
I love that. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And don't I always tell people, like, don't worry if you're not gonna get it all done within the first day. You sit down for 5 minutes, okay, this is what I'm thinking of, whatever. Maybe you come back to it. Maybe your thought has changed, right? Just know that, like Alexis said, like, you can pivot at any time, right? This is your time, your dream. It's yours. So who's to say what's right, what's wrong? There is no right or wrong answer when you're doing this.
And I'll add one more thing, which is something that a lot of folks get trapped in. I do this with a lot of things myself, which is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. You
Mhm.
might be sitting over here toiling over, like, okay, I want this goal. Wait, no, that goal is not good enough. Whatever goals you have for yourself are good enough. You don't need to make them super elaborate. They can be very simple. I want to drink water every day this week.
Ooh,
Boom.
you talking about me? Okay. Okay.
Am
Oh,
I? Oh my gosh. Uh, so, yeah, like it can be very simple. It doesn't have to be perfect because there is no perfect goal. The thing that matters is that these things, these SMART goals we talked about, that they're relevant, achievable, and all of that. And if you come up with half of a goal, then give yourself a pat on the back. You took time out for yourself, and that's
yeah.
important.
Mhm. So true. So true. So what's one smart goal, Alexis, you're gonna write down? What's one of yours?
Ooh, what do I
Mm.
wanna say publicly? What are my goals? Yeah, well, I have a marathon next week,
Yeah, you
so
do.
I wanna complete my marathon, so that's probably one of my SMART goals. Um, and I wanna plan a trip for next year, like some kind of international trip to somewhere new. So maybe those are 2 SMART goals. The marathon, that's like I'm at the end of that, goal window, that time frame. So I think planning a good trip and
Yeah.
practicing yoga more regularly.
Mm.
Yeah, those are I guess gave you 3. So there we go.
Yeah, I
What
love
about
that.
you?
So I really want to get my bar certification. It has been on my
Wait, you
heart.
have to explain to people what that means because they could think of the other kind of bar.
Now listen, if it's gonna be the stripper bar type, okay, we could just shut this down right now. All right, and give me my coins. No. So
That
shut it down right now. So, bar is where you do small movements and it's on focused muscle groups and it's low impact. And the reason why I'm so like gung ho on it because listen, I'm aging, right? I'm 45 and I can't have Megan Thee Stallion knees to twerk forever, even though I wish I could.
you
But I would
can.
look, listen, listen. No, no. Listen, Linda, no, okay? It's not gonna happen. I mean, look, yeah, like if you've ever taken any of our fitness classes, we are hopping around, we're dancing around, but I really wanna like preserve my body, right? And then I wanna get toned. And that's something I have lost 100 pounds over 4 years. It took me to lose 100 pounds. And I mean, I got some jiggly points that, I want to tone them up a little bit. And while, yes, I lift, but when you do a bar workout, oh, honey, oh, Alexis can tell you, I think we like died last week. Like,
Yeah, that bar workout kicked my butt. Just a side note, we did this bar workout on Sunday. It was so hard. And then I had taught a spin class that morning and two the previous morning. And I was like, I don't know who I thought I was, but did this bar class, was dying. Monday taught spin class. Felt great. I was like, I'm not sore or anything. Tuesday morning, I woke up to walk across the street to the gym to work out with my trainer. And I was like, oh no, this is not going to go well. I was so sore. And then I worked out with him again today, which is Thursday. And I was still sore from Tuesday, which was sore from Sunday.
Horrible. I told Alexis, I was like, it hurts to poop. I was like, I can't even. I was like, I can't do it. Like, it hurts. Everything hurts. But you know what? If I keep that up once a week, twice a week, right? Like right now, I'm gonna be honest, I do the senior edition. Do not come for me in these comments, but I do the senior version of bar. But I love it. And it's great. And the movements are great on my joints, and I can already feel stronger. So I want to get that certification. I don't know if I want to run more next year, but I definitely want to walk more, just because my community that I service, like they're aging. So just really talking about the importance of walking and what walking can do for you. So walking more. And I too want to go on a trip. Like I've had Paris on my vision board for 3 years. I've wanted to go to Paris, take my daughter to Paris. The first year I decided I wanted to do it, I have like a picture of Beyonce and Blue Ivy standing at the Eiffel Tower. I don't know. But, I really wanna go to Paris. So I'm like, either I wanna teach a conference over there or teach fitness or something, but I just wanna get to Paris. So those are my 3.
Desiree said, I do not want to run more next year. Alexis. Okay, well, Alexis does want to run more next year.
It's okay, Desiree, we'll walk. We'll be the walkers, the fast walkers, even though
Desiree is a fast walker, by the way. She walks faster than I drive. And I'm not even exaggerating. I would
well,
be at the traffic light going to the gym. Desiree used to live across the street from the gym when I lived a little further away. I would be at the light. Desiree would cross. I would drive down. Desiree's already in the gym. She said these little legs go. Yes, they do.
yes,
She's
they do.
fast.
See? We could be walkers. I'm all about this walking, all about the importance of walking. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we got our homework assignments. So we're going to share with you all what our SMART goals are, our three. And Monique is going to share her worksheet next week. I'm going to share
Yep.
the playlist in the comments. And we're going to have a great week, everybody.
Yes. Tell a friend to tell a friend to join you next week, right? Because that person can then hold you accountable for achieving your dreams as well.
Yes, we love an accountability buddy.
Love it.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in, checking in. And thank you, Monique, for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Yeah, no, thanks for like hosting this. I think this is great. This is going to set people up for success.
Yes. All right. Go get them, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye.